how to achieve more in 1 week than most people do in their entire year. This last year has been extremely transformative for me. I can honestly say this is by far the most consistent, the most productive, the most disciplined I've ever been. I'm 34 years old and I've struggled in many different areas of my business, my social confidence, my self-development journey throughout my 20s. It's 5:30 in the morning, just leaving the gym right now. I've been getting up at 4 a.m. 76 days in a row now. Made a commitment to myself that I was gonna do 100 days straight. But on top of that, I've removed all drugs, all alcohol, no porn, no masturbation, celibacy right now, no nicotine, no temptations. There's still plenty of temptations. No temptations have I given to during this routine I've created. And there's been ups and downs for sure. There's been periods where I was doing really well, and then there was other moments throughout the last couple months where it seemed like I was doing all of this for nothing, and it seemed like I wasn't getting a tangible result. So I want to show you guys how I was able to massively increase my productivity, have record months in my business, cultivate that consistency, that mindset, and the discipline that you need to really become successful. Because there's so many dudes who bullshit their fucking life away, man. Bullshit their life away. And the thing is, you think you're actually productive because you go to your job on Monday through Friday. Or because you put in hours at work, you think that you're actually productive. You think that because occasionally you do a little bit, it's acceptable. It's good. You work hard because you're probably comparing it to your friends. Or you're probably comparing it to the previous version of yourself, right? The way that you could get more done in 1 week than most people do in a year, it's really by not having setbacks. Because the old me, I would do a little bit of work and then I would need to reward myself for the work. Example, had a really long day or did an activity that was like pushing myself socially, or finally filmed that video. The next thing I would do is turn to some kind of vice, turn to some kind of bad habit, turn to some kind of low frequency activity to put me back into my safe zone, my comfort zone. If I went out and pushed myself socially, the next day or that night, I would either get drunk, I would fucking pig the fuck out on food, smoke that blunt, eat that junk food, have that chill day, that chill weekend, right? I would do a couple days of work followed by some big activity that was fun, but it was really just all vices and bullshit. And then I would need to take a couple days to get back just to baseline. And so that would affect my progress in the gym. That would affect my content. That would affect my sales calls. I would close off my calendars on the weekend so I could relax. And don't get me wrong, like there's nothing wrong with relaxing, enjoying your life. And I'll touch on that in a second. But we're talking about how to accomplish more than what most people do in a year in 1 week. And I can guarantee you that's not going to be done by relaxing throughout the week. But the thing is, I'm not going insane. I'm not hating my life. I'm not like, oh my God, this is the hardest routine I've ever done. Honestly, I'm cruising through my routine right now. It's not like it's any harder. It's the same level of difficulty. In fact, it might actually be easier, because when you have to juggle the bad shit on top, dude, like doing the things that you really need to do to push you to the higher level, those things become so challenging. They're very anxiety driven, because it's going to be a big deal because you haven't done that thing all week. Now there's all this pressure building up around it. And then you'll have even more temptation to not want to do it and not justify it this week. Or you do it half-assed and then you never actually go back and finish the thing. Like there was a video I was supposed to film a while back. I started doing it, and then so much time went by, I lost the urge and the motivation to finish that video. So some of the tasks, like how many tasks did you never fully commit to, and then they got put on the back burner, and then it just never fucking got done? So let's talk about some applicable things you could do. One of the biggest things I've noticed is that I think is crucial is creating some kind of daily structure, having specific times of when you're going to start those activities during the day. So that means you write out the list of what are the big three things that if I got If I got all 3 of these things done today, damn, that would be productive as fuck. Or you might need to look at it in terms of the week. Well, if I could finish this by the end of the week, that's the goal. That would be the goal. Like most people, if it comes to like starting a YouTube channel, it takes them a month, 2 months just to get that video out. Some people, they'll bullshit, they lose the rhythm, and then by the end of the year, they got 5 videos done, 7 videos done. And this isn't just about starting a business or a YouTube channel. I'm just using this as an example. What you need to do though, is create that goal for the week. Okay, well, if I could do 7 videos this week, that would be crazy. That was more than I did last year. Okay, well, let's break that down. That means we would need to do a video a day. And most likely you're gonna need to do a little bit of research. So ahead of time, I would say, we're gonna probably need an hour or so, maybe 2 hours max to script out the video, and then another hour to film it, and then however much time it's gonna take you to edit the video. So you have a start time with structured activities. And then here's the other thing, is that you need to have some level of urgency with the activity. So for me, I know no matter what, I need to be up at a certain time. Right now, it's 4 a.m. I need to be up at that time. I need to be in the gym by 4:15. I have start times. That creates urgency. That's what gets you to start fucking moving forward in the activities. Without that, you're just gonna mope around. You're gonna go back into your default mode. And your default mode is always doing some bullshit. Trust me. I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying that for me. As I look at myself, I see the old version of myself that just knows that, hey, when I don't have a set activity written out with a start time and an end result that has a deadline, I'm gonna bullshit. I'm gonna go on my phone. I'm gonna scroll. I'm gonna whatever. I'm gonna hang out with that friend or answer that phone call that leads to a 45-minute talk about irrelevant shit that's not aligned with my goals. So creating a step-by-step action plan for the day with start times and goals, and having that urgency around that. So it's like deadlines and urgency. Now the last thing I would recommend too is in the morning, when you start your next day, you want to have some type of reflection. Right, so every morning after the gym, I'm about to go upstairs and I'm gonna pull out my journal and I'm gonna reflect on the previous day. Was I able to hit my goals? Yesterday, I would rate my performance a blank out of 10. The big 3 goals that I wanted to accomplish were blank, blank, and blank by these times. I was able to accomplish this and this. I struggled with this. The reason that I was not able to accomplish this is because I told myself blah, 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 blah. If you can just do that one thing on a daily basis, you will very quickly start to see your thought loops, the things you can do successfully, the challenges that you're consistently facing, and more importantly, the bullshit that you're telling yourself on a daily basis. Because here's the thing, man, essentially, you're not tracking anything right now. Like, that's what it is. You're not tracking. You don't have clear, concise goals written out with start times and end times. And then the next day, you're not really evaluating the previous day and how much you were able to get done and why you were able to do those things or not do those things. When you can track the goal and you write out the thoughts behind why you didn't accomplish the goal, in a matter of 1 to 2 days, it will really bring awareness to the bullshit you have going on in your life, man. Honestly, that is one of the biggest things I've learned from doing this routine, incorporating that self-reflection every morning. Because within a day or two, if I'm starting to fall into a slump or I'm starting to fuck up, it becomes very apparent when I write that thing out. That unbiased analytical review in the morning, self-reflection. But when you're not tracking the shit and you have nobody to report to, especially not yourself, just understand your default is going to be moping around, roaming around, doing bullshit, non-productive activities. It's Sunday morning right now. I was the dude who used to lose the weekend. I would lose the entire weekend because I would go out Friday, Saturday, and then I would think the whole weekend was set to just recover and recharge. And eat bad food, smoke weed, get drunk over the weekends, be hungover, rest and recline by the pool all weekend. just so I could get ready to get back into work on Monday. And that would be a big deal that I would be so depressed about. So it's like I had all these bad things holding me down. And because of that, it's very hard to go up. Most of you guys have a good amount of potential. It's not like you're hopeless. You just have all of these bad things and you're not tracking your goals and you're not consistently moving towards them. And without that clarity, it makes sense why you're not being productive at the things that you really want to get done. I'll also do on a weekly basis, I'll reflect on the entire week as a whole. How did my week go overall? What's the one thing that I want to improve for this upcoming week versus last week? All right, tracking, structure, urgency, deadlines, review, aka reflection. That's all for this video, fellas. I'll see you tomorrow.